This is Dolynny TV. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel today. And let me tell you a little bit about how my day went, alright? I hustled around the shop, couldn't get out of the shop to go on deliveries because something kept popping up every few minutes and I wasn't able to get on the truck. Well, all of a sudden that got taken care of, lunch got taken care of, and then all of a sudden we found ourselves sitting there filing paperwork this evening, this afternoon, whatever timestamp you want to use. So anyway, moral of the story is I look at my phone at noon, everything seems fine. Henrik Lundqvist, he's out for the season. I mean, he's old and unfortunately he has heart condition. That's unfortunate, but you know what? He's taking care of it. He's not being stupid about it. Great on him. No more to it, right? Okay, so that's the big news. That's the big news we'll get today. That's the breaking news. That's all we have to worry about. But then all of a sudden, while I'm filing paperwork, things just start to unravel at a pace in the NHL we have not seen in months since October, say, what, 10th, 12th, 11th, where somewhere in there. And it has just been from the time I sat down to file paperwork at about 1 o'clock after lunch to the time I got home at 5:30, it has been a disaster of news here in the NHL's spectrum, and I've got exactly how it affects the Oilers and how I want it to affect the Oilers taken care of in this video, hopefully for you in the next 10, 15 minutes, whatever it takes me to explain myself and what I'm thinking on this topic. So, Anthony Duclair signed with the Florida Panthers. Not Oilers news. Kick it to the curb. Don't worry about it. Not going to affect us, especially if we play in a Canadian division. Wait a minute. Canadian division? Oh yeah, that's the hot button topic I wanted to discuss. Yeah, that's what we need. Kind of need to get to right now is this Canadian division and what might or might not be happening with it. Is the health authority here in Canada kind of gave a little stern warning that, hey, NHL, you plan on coming back, you better talk to each of the provinces and make sure they're okay with that. And of course, you look at the rules and regulations in different provinces right now across Canada when it comes to sports beginning again and stuff like that. It's going to be a tough go to get that back in action for January 13th, especially considering, you know what, yeah, Alberta's in the crapper right now. You know what, we're suffering through the worst of what can happen as of right now until probably about the 13th. That's our situation. Problem is, Ontario, Quebec, they seem to be a little bit more scattered in response right now, so they're about to probably hit the crapper here in the next week and then be worse off for a month or two down the stretch, which really puts that January 13th question into doubt. So, yeah, and then don't forget Manitoba. Honestly, I don't even know what the latest update in Manitoba is. You can sit there and listen to the news all day and still not know what's going on at this point. So, and it don't matter whose news you're listening to, all right? That's what I'm going to tell you. Even if you listen to me for your news update on what's going on in Alberta, I ain't going to be able to tell you the full story. So, all right, my friends, that's where we find ourselves. The Canadian division, suddenly, according to every NHL insider, a little bit in doubt. Okay, that's a little bit scary because, well, if the Canadian division's in doubt, it's not like they're going to play the NHL with only 24 teams. I mean, we did that last summer for the playoffs, but don't mind me. No, so we're going to, worst case scenario, I guess, to put it lightly, is see every Canadian team migrate down south to the US for the season for a 56 game season and of course a playoffs. That sucks. That really sucks. Because right, any hope we had of maybe seeing the Oilers in live action if everything went according to the big plans at stake here of getting fans back in the stands maybe by May, June, however you want to work it. Whatever your idea of those plans looks like. If the Oilers are in the States, good luck going to see the Oilers in Edmonton. That's all I'm going to tell you. That's what I'm saying. So, okay, the Oilers in the States. I guess maybe that's where I need to begin a little bit of a discussion topic is how do they work that? I know the Oilers Nation article, which I'm referencing to go off of my thoughts for this one, is they were talking about, well, would Atlanta take back Winnipeg or Calgary? And to that I say no. That does not work for me. What you need to do And what you should do, especially, I mean, I guess the Eastern teams, Winnipeg included, are kind of in a unique situation when it comes down to things because of their situation with their AHL affiliates being in Canada. So I guess you'd also have to find a situation for them to play somewhere down south as well. But, okay, so for Vancouver, Calgary, and Edmonton, there's a pretty easy solution. Utica, Stockton, Bakersfield. Straight up. And according to my good contact down there in Bakersfield, Sam, I've never been to the arena in Bakersfield, but apparently there's a hotel attached to it. So, end of the day, if there's a hotel attached to an AHL arena, I'm sure it's good enough to survive for a couple of couple of games this year, and of course playoffs this year, I guess what I should say. So dandy, the Oilers seem to be pretty well off. I'm sure Stockton can accommodate just fine. I'm not sure about Utica, not sure what that situation is, but right, that's regulation, pro ice, and an arena. And here's the other side too, is according to U.S. health regulations, some AHL teams might see fans this year. Heck, some NHL fans might even see fans this year. And I mean, if everything falls into accordance here in California for the Flames and Oilers, you could have a bunch of Bakersfield Condors fans and maybe a couple Oilers fans from down south in Cali joining in the action in a Battle of Alberta in Bakersfield. Legit NHL Battle of Alberta taking place in Bakersfield. That would be something special. And the only reason I go off on that tangent is simply because it's an all-in-one solution, right? The Oilers already own their Bakersfield affiliate. That's where we're sitting. The Oilers own their affiliate in the AHL, and the reason that works is obviously money. One, money works there. But two, is the fact of how much you can grow your international audience in the U.S. via playing in a destination where your prospects already play. Think of it, right? How exciting would it be for Bakersfield fans to once again see Leon Draisaitl suit up in Bakersfield, California? I'm going to tell you, I can already read the message I'm going to get after saying that, and it's a very excited one, okay? That's fair enough. Now think about if Tyler Benson makes the Oilers and is an impact player in the top 9. Well, Tyler Benson, a big, beloved part of Bakersfield. Bear Jones, also beloved in Bakersfield. Think about Stuart Skinner if he sees action. He is also a big-time member of that team over the past 2 years. Maybe not so beloved from what I get because of his struggles to really cultivate his game to AHL caliber, but it's always good to see the guys move up, right? That's what I'd say. But there's a lot of guys. I think Judar Harris spent some time in Bakersfield as well. At some point, most of the Oilers on the roster, Kyler Yamamoto, may I add, has spent time in Bakersfield. Ryan McLeod, another one. There are guys, Evan Bouchard, yeah, that would be a name to add to the list as well. So you see where I'm going is there's a lot of fun and excitement that you could really grow two fan bases together, essentially, in one giant fan base here for the Oilers, and I'd be all here for the Bakersfield Oilers. Don't you kid myself, because that would be fantastic to see kind of the formation of a super group of Oilers hockey fans, right? You got Condors fans, which are technically sort of Oilers fans to a degree, but then they really get the Oilers to cheer for within their hometown, and then they really get to grow the game. Oh man. Look at this opportunity, and how can you not think it pays off? Obviously, yes, we've heard kind of about college rinks and stuff like that, and that could potentially play out. But don't forget they're playing college hockey, and yes, if the AHL wants to get back to playing hockey, that's fine and dandy too. But with the division realignments and stuff, I'm sure everybody can figure out a way to play hockey safely in the same rink, even if you have two hockey teams playing. Because I'm sorry, guess what? NBA teams are going to have teams playing in their home arenas, and yeah, guess what? That just so happens to be the same rinks sometimes as NHL teams. So if you're worried about splitting two teams in one arena, look no further as to what's realistically going to happen anyways. All right, that's end of the day. We don't need to be too concerned there. So to summarize my thoughts, yes, am I concerned that the Canadian division won't happen? Absolutely. But there is a best case scenario, even in the worst case scenario, and that is in the merger named the Bakersfield Oilers. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what? It sucks, but it is what it is. This is a theory on the table, just as the Canadian division is a theory on the table. Nothing's cemented in stone quite yet, so you stay tuned here to Dolynny TV. You keep reading and reacting to a whole bunch of articles out there, and we'll finally have a solution here, hopefully maybe tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, sometime before Christmas. Please, that's my Christmas wish. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tyson, Dolynny TV, up on out of here.